Welcome back, guys. This is Gaming with Austin. This, today, is episode 52 of the Utopian Community series. I know this sometimes apps can freeze. Sometimes that's normal. Especially when CPUs are not fast enough. And we're on. And it's on. One of the things I'm going to talk about now, I'm going to put some windows on. I'll be adding some doors so it'll be easy for farmers to get in and get out. Not just one door, but several doors. To make it easier for farmers to get in and get out. One thing we're going to talk about is the storm of the century. South Carolina has started lifting evacuation orders starting tomorrow, Sunday the 16th of September. Which means people can go back home starting tomorrow. Which is good. Which means that we can all go home safe and sound tomorrow. Yes, including Pickle Boy from Angry Grandpa series. I'd love to meet Pickle Boy sometime in the future. I'd love to meet him sometime in the future. I'd like to talk to Pickle Boy about my gaming series and to see if he can collaborate with me. See if he can work with me on my gaming channel. Oops. By the way, if you want to know who Pickle Boy is, he is a son of Angry Grandpa. If you want to know who Pickle Boy is. If he became the successor of Angry Grandpa, it'd be called Angry Dad. Similar, but the problem is, that's what Homer Simpson's nickname is. In Bart's comic book series called Angry Dad. Oops. Angry Dad is one of the comic books series by Bart Simpson. The death of Angry Grandpa is to show you that you shouldn't be drinking booze. I have a friend whose mother shared a similar fate to Angry Grandpa. I have a friend whose mother shared a similar fate. Who shared a similar fate with Angry Grandpa. Unfortunately. It's pretty bad to lose someone due to alcoholism. It's pretty bad. I know no one wants to go through that. This is why it's best not to buy booze. Wanna know why it's best never to drink booze? It does damage to your liver. I value my liver. I want to keep it in tip-top shape, like the rest of my body. I just want to keep it in my body in tip-top shape. No, my goal? One of my goals is to fight the obesity crisis. Because it's one of the problems we have now. It's not just what we're eating. It's what we're putting in our food. That's driving obesity pretty bad. One of the reasons they put hormones in food is to meet up with demand. It's a pretty unethical way of doing so. Which is why so many people end up becoming overweight ultimately. PP time. Is what Murderface loves to do. He urinates inappropriately. Hardwired to Self-Destruct by Metallica is what I was humming to. That's what I was humming to. Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Another one of my favorite Metallica songs is Battery. Move the lever out of the way. Let's start planting those stairs in. Because you really don't need a lever when you're placing stairs. When you're placing the stairs, you really don't need a lever. Even though Ted Bundy was pretty evil, one of the only good things he did was suicide prevention. We need suicide prevention too. Most gun-related deaths are due to suicide. There are people out there that take their own lives because they're terminally ill. Sometimes suicide can be associated with a terminal illness. What we need is mandatory genetic testing for our infants, because that can save countless lives. In the long run. What's pretty scary, learning about your child having a genetic disorder that's going to kill them at a young age. One of the worst things parents will hear from a doctor is that their child has an inborn metabolic disorder. It's one of the worst things a parent can hear from a doctor. Because usually that spells death. An example of such disorder is Crabbe disease. Krabbe. That's actually how you spell it. No, not crab lice. Not talking about that. I'm talking about leukodystrophy, which your brain accumulates so much white matter, where it fails to function properly. The disorder you don't want to hear from your doctor about your child having that disorder is neuronal ceroid lipofuscinosis. Another one of those disorders you don't want to hear about. You don't want to hear from your doctor is that your child. One of the words you don't want to hear from your doctor is that your child has fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, because that hints. Another one is that you shouldn't be hearing those from your doctor, because why? Basically, you're hearing a death sentence from your doctor of your child. No one wants to have their children face a death sentence because of medical condition. Already painted the windows. Now, let's get started on the second floor. Factory farms, they smell awful. One of those diseases you don't want to hear from your doctor is that your child has neuronal ceroid lipofuscinosis, Niemann-Pick disease. Tay-Sachs disease is something you're born with. Tay-Sachs disease is one of those diseases that you're born with. It's a death. Literally, it's a death sentence. It's a death sentence you're born with. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. If we want to help fight for treatment for those diseases, we need to spread our awareness. And please support cancer research too. And please support dementia research too, as well. 4, 5. The reason to support research for dementia is so we could help find the cure for CJD and Parkinson's. And there are people with Parkinson's disease that are still alive to this day, including Marty McFly. Yes, I'm using Marty McFly to refer to Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future. I call him Marty McFly. Yes, I usually refer to him as Marty McFly. One of the things I refer to Michael J. Fox is Marty McFly. Because he really is Marty McFly. Just like how I refer to Stephen Carl Stephenson as Robbie Rotten. Even though he passed away almost a month ago, he will always be number one. He'll forever be number one. He'll forever be number one. He'll always be number one. Even though he's already dead, he'll always be number one. It's sad that Robbie Rotten passed away. It's pretty sad for the Lazy Town community. He'll always be number one. He was number one when he was alive. He'll still be number one even though he's already dead. We are number one, hey! We are number one. Why call Stephen Carl Stephenson Robbie Rotten? He played as Robbie Rotten in Lazy Town. He was the guy that played Robbie Rotten in Lazy Town. One reason to call him Robbie Rotten, he played as him. Whenever it goes to actors and actresses, I tend to call them by their most famous role. Like, I call Vern Troyer Mini-Me. He was a good actor before he passed away. He also had his own YouTube channel of the same name, Vern Troyer. It said that he passed away from alcohol intoxication because he was struggling with alcoholism. This is why you shouldn't be drinking booze, kids. You shouldn't be drinking booze. Because of what happened to Van Troyer, because of what happened to Mini-Me and Angry Grandpa. They both died from alcohol-related complications. This is why you shouldn't be drinking booze, kids. If I was a Disney World cast member, like, problem with being a theme park character is with the Mickey Mouse universe characters, especially Mickey, Goofy, Claire Bulcal, Minnie, Donald, with the ones wearing white gloves, the gloves would be a little small for my big hands, because my hands are already huge. Especially because my fingers are really long. And even though Rowdy Rodden's already dead, he'll still be number one. He is forever going to be number one in the internet community. The truth about PCs versus consoles is that PCs are far more superior. I'm not trying to bash you console users, but this is actually true. With PCs, if they break, you can fix you can fix it. With the console, if they break, you have to buy a new console, which is a big problem. This is why I'd rather build my own computer. In the long run, PCs are much cheaper than consoles. Because, you know, with PCs, they can go for several generations and still play the latest games. But consoles, on the other hand, are a different story. PC versus consoles. One way in which consoles are better than PCs is that they're much smaller than a desktop. Who needs an Xbox One when you have a gaming rig? Who needs an Xbox One? Because I have a gaming rig instead because it's better. Plus, you could do all sorts of stuff. Plus, recording gameplay onto YouTube is completely free if you have a PC. With consoles, you have to spend a shit ton of money. Which is not fair. Plus, another reason PC is Master Race, you have more games you can play on a PC. Basically, you can stream on every console. Basically, with PC, they can stay up to date for about a decade or two. Mom? Okay. My mom was telling me to turn the volume down. Okay. Back to this. This is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked this video, dislike if you disliked it, subs if you loved it. Share this with your friends to help my channel grow. As always, thank you for watching and peace out.